Hi, so this is just a really quick, really short video that I wanted to do concerning the alpha channels in your color selector. You have them both on the color selector that you have for your I believe it's your paintbrush tool, as well as you have the alpha channel on your color selector for just your regular brush tool. And basically when you click on the color that either of those tools are and select any color within the palette or any within the custom mixer, you're also going to see on top of where all these color swatches are, there's a channel that says alpha %. And when you lower it, that makes colors transparent. And that's how I have these yellow lines over here. Now, the thing about alpha channels is transparencies don't layer on top of each other, unfortunately, as you can see, unless you make other layers, which is annoying. So if you're trying to get an effect with layered opacities of different colors, that's how you have to do it. For example, I have this color at this opacity. I might go for like a warmer one and make it higher, and I might go to my properties and also change the brush size of that. Let's just do circle. See, so now we get that kind of nice layer in the background. But if I just do it on the regular light layer, it doesn't go over nice and organically. It just goes over like there's no layering. It would just paint over. So that's the unfortunate thing, but otherwise opacity is really handy. You can use it for lights or subtle effects. I used it in some files that we haven't deployed that included a mirror, where I basically took the already existing animation and I flipped it and placed it on top of a mirror that existed and erased the part of the animation of the character that would extend outside of the mirror, and then I lowered the opacity on the colors of the character animation that was placed in the mirror, so it just looks like this fainter kind of reflection in the mirror. We haven't gotten to deploying that yet, but if that is something they want to deploy, that's something to keep in mind. And how you would get the mirrored effect basically is you would either use an alpha channel on the animation itself of the character, or you would put the character under the mirror. In the mirror itself wouldn't be gray, but it would have the opacity affected, so you could see the character underneath it, but it would still be kind of, obfuscated. So, yeah, just by lowering the percent, you make, the opacity even lighter and lighter, otherwise the color even fainter and fainter. When it's at 100%, it's completely opaque, and that's just quickly how you use opacity in Animate. You can see I used it in the files where there's, the stars and stuff in the sky, in the jail scenes and bedroom scenes, and, again, in those mirror files, or the files with the mirrors, if those become relevant either by working on this old scenario that we have, or doing another one in which you might be, needing to do a mirror. That's, those are just a few of the ways it can, affect. And just think of all the things that you use opacity and opacity effects for in Photoshop. You can't necessarily do everything you can in Photoshop in Animate. Something you do in Animate isn't going to look like something you necessarily make in Photoshop. especially because, you know, you don't necessarily have blending options like you would use with Opacity that you have in Photoshop. But, you know, you can certainly get some nice effects with the Opacity tool that is had, you know. Like, if you look at this, you know, people don't necessarily do, you know, this is just a personal animation I did for class. People typically don't do hair this complex in, you know, Flash or whatever, depending. But, because this was just a lip sync, I decided to make it a little bit more detailed. And you can, so don't feel limited, like, oh, I'm in Flash, and that means, like, you know, my drawings might be bad, or this, that, or the other thing, or I can't use gradients, or I can't use opacity. You can do all those things. So, and opacity is just one of the ways. And just when you select a color, just go, you know, to where that color is, the little color box, the swatches and everything, and just look at your alpha channel, and you'll find what you need.